I lost over $1,400 to a developer who was going to make a website for us and start ads. I was promised the world and did not get anything out of it. So if you're planning on getting a website or starting ads, you'll want to hear my story before you go out and find your own person. My name is Tiffany. I'm a nurse who owns a mobile IV therapy business. And let me just kind of get into it. So marketing is one of the biggest things you can do for your business. You can have the best services, but if nobody knows about it, then how are they going to buy from you? When I started my business, I created our own website. Looking back, I should have had someone help me because yes, I had a functional website, but there were certain things within the website that were not optimized, so people were not really seeing us. So our whole first year, we grew based off organic. Pretty much we didn't pay any money. It was all social media, promos, events, stuff like that. We're at the point that I'm like, okay, I want to start doing ads and kind of invest back into our business, which I should have done this in the beginning, but I didn't know. And so of course I'm here as a nurse to help you, so starting your business, and give you tidbits that I wish I would have known. So let me kind of tell you my story and what happened. Our website that we currently have is, it's still the one that I made. We're actually getting it revamped right now. We've been working on this since May, not with the current person that we're having, but just like the whole process of trying to get our website redone to where it'd be more beneficial for us. I found somebody to do our website and I was super excited by what I heard. I had seen some of his work before, some other people's website. It looked really good. And so I was very excited. We had everything put together. Typically you sign a contract that kind of just goes over what they're going to give you. And I did sign a contract. And looking back, it was a very vague contract, which wasn't beneficial, I would say, for either party after what happened. But essentially, I had been in touch with the developer. I said, hey, I will pay you half up front and we'll pay half at the end, just because I had talked to a couple of other website people and I had some issues with them too. And so my thought was, okay, if I pay you half now and half at the end, then surely we'll get done faster because you'll want that second payment. And it ended up being a couple months going by. I actually was started with weeks, and I'd reach out, ask if it was done. I'd be reassured it was still being worked on. And we got, I can't remember how far it was, but long story short, we ended up getting, it'd been over a month. We might have been at a month and a half at this point, and I still hadn't heard anything. I personally thought we had to wait to have our website done in order to start running ads. Ads is what I was really excited about working on too. I was told, well, we can go ahead and start ads. And now what I know, you can start ads, but I've learned people run ads different ways. And so our developer, we are based out of Oklahoma, and our developer was based out of, it was a coastal state. He was actually based out of California. And so infusions there are just very different than how they are here. And I say very different. They're the same infusions, but people view them differently. They're a lot more popular there than they are here. Long story short, he was like, we're gonna start ads like this. Of course, I did not know. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, we can do it. Well, after we had ran for a little bit, and it wasn't that long, I just saw the numbers weren't coming in. There wasn't a ton of traction. And so I kind of opted, maybe too early on, but I was like, okay, I just kind of got worried and I was like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And instead of, being understanding, I was kind of told why I shouldn't stop and, I need to pay more money to help. We need to pay more money. The way you do ads, you pay a set amount per day, and that's just how you run ads. It's not like, okay, here's this much. It's like, okay, we're going to start at $20 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day. That is a lot. We started at $20 a day, and then I was told, well, we need to do more to get in front of more people. And essentially, the way that they did marketing is that he wanted us to pay a lot more money to get in front of more eyes, and then hopefully, from there, people will kind of come their way in. And then I am very conservative about how we spend money, and that just started stressing me out. So then we ended up stopping ads, and I still was asking about the website. Long story short, we never got the website. We kept being told that it was done, but still got zero proof of it being done. And there was a lot of not great. It was just a terrible experience. And out of that, we ended up losing the first amount that we had paid. And of course, we never paid the second in because we never got it. And then we learned some other stuff was going on. So we're just like, okay, we're cutting our ties and we're moving on. I actually on Facebook, soon after that, I saw an ad that was I can't remember exactly what it was, but the gist of it was, if you're a mobile or infusion company and you're not seeing the clients that you want, or it was about helping find clients, then we help with that because we do primarily IV therapy. And I was like, oh, there's a marketing place that does just IV therapy. I'm going to reach out to them, because my thought was, if I have somebody who's helping with marketing in mainly like my niche, not like, okay, we market for everyone, you do IV therapy, I just, in my mind, I'm like, they're going to know a little bit more about what we can market about and kind of lead me in that direction as I don't fully know. Well, I reached out to him and he has literally been a godsend. We have a whole path of how we're going to do marketing, and we've started maybe step 1 or 2 of this plan that we have. And even from the little steps that we have done so far, because he's still currently working on redoing our website, I have had, my phone has rang more doing this than what it has with just my organic marketing. And of course, organic marketing, I'm not saying it was bad. I was able to leave bedside and we got our business paid off within 10 months, which is great, with zero, no paid ads. But now I'm like, okay, if I would have known the right way to do all this in the beginning, or a faster way, we could be like exponentially farther and being able to help more people than what we would be organic. So the moral of the story is, if you're going to have someone develop a website, more than likely you're going to have to sign a contract, which is completely normal, but you want to make sure that 1, you are going to own your website. 2, you will be able to make modifications. When I say you, that does not mean physically you, but if you have a developer or somebody that you would like to help add things, as you run your business, you might add a new infusion or whatever it may be, that you have access to, where you can log in and have access to your website because you own it and can make modifications. A lot of times, I don't know why, what was going to happen in my instance was, we are getting this website built for us, but this developer wanted to own total control. I mean, we would own it, but we would not be able to make any modifications. If I had anybody else come in and edit anything, he was going to totally take the website away. Like, that is terrible. You're paying someone to make the website for you, so why are you going to control it and not let people do what they want to with it? The website's for your business. So make sure that you control it, or you have access to it, you own it. And a lot of times after the developer makes it, they can transfer ownership to you. So you want to make sure you own the domain also. What the domain is, and I'm 99% sure about this. So like, our website is anywhereinfusions.com. So that is what is on all of our marketing. Like, you want to make sure you still own that, because otherwise, you could have someone who tries to screw you over and say, well, I'm not giving you your website until you do this and this and this. And then that's hard, because you have no way, unless you completely restart over with a new domain and a new website and so on. So you just want to make sure in that contract, it's very clearly laid out, like, you own it, you can modify it as need be, and the time frame of how long it's going to take to develop. Because what we are told was going to be done in 4 weeks. I mean, this was in May, and we kind of cut ties. I can't even remember how. I mean, it was a couple months past, and I was like, where's the website? So because of that, I really would encourage you to be mindful, and I would also interview them and be like, how many websites have you done? Are you custom building this? Do I get anything else beside a website? Like, are you going to help with my Google My Business? Are you just building us a website? Is it going to have included our CRM? A CRM is essentially your email list. Am I going to have access to be able to look at my numbers? So like, how many people view the website? There's so many things that you just want to make sure that you can have access to and know, because that will also give you insight to how well your website's doing. And honestly, I found a guy that is amazing. His name is Michael. I will have his information linked below, but essentially he is doing pretty much all of our social media. I still make the post on their social media account just because I enjoy doing that, but he is doing our website, our ads, he's doing our CRM, so our email list. There's a newsletter that he's going to send out to our clients on a weekly basis. He manages my YouTube, and even though I have a YouTube like this, you can have a YouTube that you're educating, like what you give to your own patients and why, and that is very beneficial because it really helps make you the authority and your space, so IV therapy within your location. And so that will help people build trust with you and also be like, okay, they really are educated in what they're giving and why. So yes, I'm gonna go to them. So this is just a tidbit on, you know, what you need to look forward to. Next week, I'm super excited. We're actually having Michael on as a guest, and he's going to educate a lot of the marketing. And do you even need a website to start up? Is a website very effective? Is there other things that you can do that can help you stand out and make a social presence so you can build your clients? And he's gonna go over all that. So you do not wanna miss next week. If you're not subscribed, which a large following of ours is not, if you want to go ahead and follow and turn on your notifications, that way you will be notified every week when we release a new video, including next week's with Michael. And other than that, you guys have a blessed week.